After all these years, they finally found the gold? Let's recap everything from Golden Kamuy Season 5. The story continues as Ueji tricks a boy searching for his lost dog, leads him away, and reveals his face tattoos, claiming he did it to grow stronger and that the world is full of disappointment. Ueji tries to kill him, but Ushiyama suddenly grabs Ueji, slams him down, but Ueji escapes into a house while Ushiyama smashes through the walls chasing him. Ueji is thrown through a restaurant wall where Sugimoto's group is, starting a huge fight. Hijikata and Sugimoto clash until Ushiyama stops them. Botaro tries to stop Ushiyama but gets thrown aside. Asirpa calms everyone and Hijikata explains his plan for a new republic, so they join forces against a common enemy. Later, Asirpa and Hijikata study the tattoo skins. She finds a pattern, but some skins don't match, making her doubt her father's name is the key. Hijikata pressures her, but she stays silent, not knowing Tsurumi mixed real and fake skins. Ishikawa reports the killer copying Jack the Ripper in Sapporo, and they predict the next attack at the brewery. They split up to catch him, with Shiraishi as bait, but the plan fails when Usami attacks Katakura while the real killer, Ostrog, targets another member. A huge fight breaks. Beer barrels break, flooding the place and making fighters drunk and clumsy. In the chaos, Kikuta captures Asirpa and tries to convince her to join Tsurumi, saying Wilk's secret matters more than the gold. She refuses, escapes, but runs into Ostrog. Ostrog calls himself a child of God, mocks her beliefs, and justifies his crimes. Asirpa fights back, then Sugimoto arrives, calls him disgusting, and says life is about your choices. Ostrog attacks, but Sugimoto dodges, stabs him, cuts his neck, and kicks him out the window. Outside, Ushiyama crushes his head. Meanwhile, Usami fights Ogata, overpowers him, and empties his rifle. As Ogata crawls, Usami mocks him, but Ogata reloads with a hidden bullet and shoots him in the stomach. Wounded, Usami staggers toward Tsurumi. Outside, Ueji causes chaos and climbs a chimney. As Usami tries to escape on a horse, Ogata shoots him through 2 windows, hitting his chest. Usami falls into Tsurumi's arms and, before dying, gives him a skin copy. Above, Ueji reveals his tattoos and says the code is unsolvable, but everyone ignores him. Hijikata and Tsurumi explain they never needed all 24 skins, only to stop others. Broken by this, Ueji falls and is decapitated. During the fire, Sugimoto and Asirpa meet Katakura, who reveals his back holds the final tattoo outline given by her father. While escaping, Botaro attacks, kidnaps Asirpa, and says she should forget the gold and live peacefully. The 7th Division intervenes. Tsukishima and Koito chase Botaro into a flooded basement and fight underwater. Tsukishima saves Koito, while Nikaido captures Asirpa. Tsurumi realizes they have what they need and orders a retreat. Meanwhile, Ogata and Vasily continue their sniper duel. Sugimoto finds Botaro and almost kills him, but Shiraishi stops him. Botaro reveals the 7th Division escaped with a beer truck and fire gear, so they team up and chase them in a beer car. Hijikata's group also gives chase, and Sugimoto tells them Asirpa was taken. Tsurumi splits his forces, and Sugimoto targets the steam pumper carrying Asirpa. Tsurumi shoots Botaro, so Shiraishi takes control. Kikuta suddenly attacks, and Botaro protects Shiraishi by taking multiple bullets. The car crashes. Nearby, Hijikata fights decoys while Sugimoto jumps onto the steam pumper to fight Kikuta and Tsurumi. In the wreck, a dying Botaro gives Shiraishi the tattooed skins, tells him to live better, whispers the gold's location, and dies. Elsewhere, Sophia attacks the 7th Division and jumps onto Tsukishima's horse, but the bag she grabs doesn't contain Asirpa. She is knocked out, and Tsurumi captures her for information. Sugimoto and Shiraishi regroup, and Sugimoto realizes he knows Kikuta. They head to a church where Tsurumi is with Asirpa and Sophia, and inside, Tsurumi shows a photo of Sophia, Wilk, and Kiraranke. Outside, Koito and Tsukishima listen as Tsurumi tells Sophia and Asirpa he was a Russian spy, and that his wife and daughter were killed in a shootout involving Sophia, Wilk, and Kiraranke. He has kept their finger bones. Tsurumi explains the Ainu gold and how he destroyed the Ainu group by revealing Wilk's past to Shiromakura, causing a brutal conflict. Wilk faked his death, but Tsurumi later caught him, leading to him becoming Nopurabu. Outside, Ariko joins Sugimoto and Shiraishi, offering to sneak in and save Asirpa. Inside, Tsurumi shows the bullet that killed his daughter, claiming Wilk fired it. He shocks everyone by wearing Wilk's preserved skin. Asirpa realizes her father broke Tsurumi, and Tsukishima decides he will kill Tsurumi if revenge is his only goal. Tsurumi explains he wants to use the gold to strengthen Japan, bring the lands of his loved ones under Japan, and make Asirpa atone for her father's sins. He says a small nation cannot survive Russia, shows a flawed gold coin, calls the gold cursed, and threatens Sophia. Asirpa reveals her father's Ainu name, Horkyu Oskoni. Ariko cuts Asirpa's ropes, but Tsurumi spots him and a shootout begins. Sugimoto and Shiraishi arrive in a beer truck. Ariko helps Asirpa onto the truck but is shot by Tsukishima. Kikuta later finds and saves him. At Sapporo Station, Asirpa explains that real tattooed skins change color with wet metal, fakes do not, helping them spot Edogai's fakes. Using her father's name, they finally decode it, knowing Tsurumi is also solving it. They race to the gold using Botaro's clue, and on the train, Sugimoto falls asleep, recalling his past with Kikuta. Quick flashback shows young Sugimoto gets into a fight but is stopped by Kikuta, who feeds him and recruits him to pretend to be Yusaku. The goal is to protect Yusaku's purity, as his mother wants him to marry Keiko to avoid war. Sugimoto goes on a formal date with her at the Imperial Hotel, and it goes well despite awkward moments. He meets the real Yusaku and sees he is kind, and also briefly meets Tsurumi. Later, Tsurumi learns the military is divided and decides to follow his own plan. At the hotel, Yamamura spills stew on Sugimoto so Kaeko can take him to a private room. As they go upstairs, Tsukishima informs Tsurumi. Inside, Kaeko tries to peek at Sugimoto, threatening him when he refuses. Tsurumi questions Yamamura, then hears Kaeko call Yusaku's name. Tsurumi breaks in to protect Yusaku's purity and points a gun at Kaeko and threatens her. Sugimoto snaps, rushes in naked, kicks the gun away, and a fight breaks out as Usami and Tsukishima grab him. Yamamura tells Kaeko to run, and Kikuta jumps in, taking a bullet. Sugimoto escapes with Kaeko and the wounded Kikuta. Outside, he refuses her offer of a rich life, saying he has no home and will join the army. Kikuta admits guilt over his brother's death, but Sugimoto reassures him, calling himself immortal. In the present, Asirpa and Hijikata realize the tattoos form a map of Fort Goryokaku, while Tsurumi also solves it and shoots Kikuta after learning he was a spy. Before dying, Kikuta says Sugimoto will kill him. Sugimoto's group reach the fort and learn Wilk used half the gold to buy land to protect the Ainu. Asirpa finds the hidden deed and understands his goal. Hijikata prepares for battle and calls Sophia for help, as everyone gets ready for a final fight. Suddenly, Tsurumi arrives with navy ships and surrounds the fort. Shiraishi panics, but the cannons stop. Nagakura tells Tsurumi there is no gold and offers a deed, but Tsurumi sees through it. Nagakura escapes into a dojo, kills a soldier, and rejoins his allies. Inside, Ushiyama warns more troops are coming and suggests Asirpa leave, but she stays. Wind moves the skins, and Hijikata finds the final clue, sending Katakura on a mission as he barely escapes the army. Nagakura meets Katakura and explains his plan, while Tsurumi decides to attack anyway. Hijikata leads the group to a spot marked by a horse, where they find a well. While they pulling out the bag, Shiraishi tears the bag open. Gold spills out, revealing the treasure. In a flashback, the Ainu saved a wounded Hijikata, and after he was captured, they hid the gold in the well, hoping he would one day help Asirpa and their people. Tsurumi uses a balloon to guide fire and destroy defenses. But when his men enter, the fort is empty. It's a trap. Sugimoto, Hijikata, and the others attack from below, trapping them. Tsurumi orders more bombing, risking his own men. Asirpa protects the deed, while others try to stop enemy signals. The 7th Division launches a full assault. Sophia resists, but Tsurumi pushes forward. Hijikata refuses to retreat, trusting Katakura, who with Nagakura reveals a hidden ship cannon. The Navy bombards from the sea. Manser fires from the hidden cannon, hitting the Navy. A ship tilts and destroys the Army's balloon. The Navy fires back, forcing Katakura's group to hide. Ogata waits in the shadows while avoiding Basili. Kirawas hits the battleship Inazuma, but return fire destroys their position and injures him and Mansur. As it sinks, Koito's father goes down with the ship. Tsurumi's men take a bastion and use bridges as shields. Sugimoto ambushes them while Nikidu sneaks in. Inside, Hijikata plans to fight them one by one. As Asirpa and Shiraishi prepare to escape with the deed, the battle worsens. Nagakura arrives. Nikaido attacks with grenades. Tony takes a bullet for Hijikata and dies guarding a bridge. Tsurumi searches for the deed while Sugimoto fights Nikaido and kills him by throwing him with a live bomb. Sugimoto saves the wounded Hijikata. As the fort falls, Shiraishi tries to trick soldiers with a fake bag, but Koito sees through it. While Shiraishi and Nagakura fight, Tsurumi corners Asirpa. Sugimoto arrives, takes Asirpa onto his horse, and escapes. Shiraishi tells them to flee through the north exit for a final escape. At the gate, Sophia stays behind to hold off the soldiers and tells Asirpa to choose her own future. She hesitates after seeing Tsurumi's former self, but he shoots her. As she falls, Tsukishima attacks, knocking Asirpa into a moat, but Tanigaki appears and saves her, urging them to move. Earlier, Tanigaki and Inkermat heard the battle, and despite warnings, she convinced him to help, promising he'd return. A wounded Sophia looks at an old photo, apologizes to Tsurumi, and he forgives her before killing her. Tsurumi realizes the deed is in Asirpa's quiver and chases her. Ogata duels Vasily, tricks him, and shoots him. They board a train, but it's full of 7th Division soldiers. Ushiyama and Hijikata fight them and tell Shiraishi to take Asirpa. Suddenly, Tanigaki is shot while guarding the door. Tsurumi attacks through a window for the quiver, but Sugimoto stabs his hand. Asirpa and Shiraishi crawl through the train to escape, while Ushiyama rampages and tells Asirpa to remember him. Tsurumi climbs to the roof to get ahead. Hijikata tells Sugimoto to run, but he stays, saying he must protect Asirpa's future. Together, they face the army. The season ends with Ogata suddenly shooting the conductors and commenting that it is now a runaway train, headed straight for hell. If you want more recaps like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know what anime you want to see next.